All right, let's jump right into this explainer. Today, we're taking a look at literally the ultimate mystery of our very existence. From the very moment humanity first learned to look up, the sky hasn't just been empty space. It's been this massive, awe-inspiring canvas of fear, curiosity, and just endless possibility. So we're going to explore what actually lies out there in that vast unknown, and we're going to dig into the stories and the theories that honestly just refuse to be ignored.
I mean, think about it. Are we alone in this universe? Or is that question itself a sign that we're standing at the absolute edge of something way beyond our current understanding? It's a pretty wild thought. What if we aren't actually waiting for visitors? What if we just don't have the biological or technological hardware to recognize what is literally already sharing our reality?
Okay, so science establishes our cosmic baseline right here. The universe, as we understand it, kicked off with the Big Bang, a sudden, violent expansion of space, time, and energy from this unimaginably dense, compact state. But even this explanation, as brilliant and foundational as it is to all of modern physics, still kind of leaves us hanging, right? It gives us the how of the universe's rapid expansion, but it completely skips over the deeper question, what exactly set the whole shebang in motion? And, maybe more importantly, what, if anything, exists outside of it? Section 1. Voices from the Sky. Unexplained Encounters on Earth.
Now, this whole phenomenon isn't just some modern, internet-fueled conspiracy. The consistency of these reports across vastly different eras and entirely different continents is absolutely striking. We're talking centuries back, like indigenous Australian oral traditions describing glowing, luminous objects that just appear and vanish. Then you jump to 1994, to the famous aerial school incident in Arua, Zimbabwe. You had multiple school children reporting these unusual objects touching down right next to their playground. And it doesn't stop there. Even in recent years, out in remote regions like Chimamani, Zimbabwe, you've got these ongoing, scattered accounts of strange lights moving across the sky in ways that frankly look nothing like standard aircraft or weather anomalies.
But here is where it gets genuinely chilling. There's this one incredibly consistent detail from the independent testimonies of those kids at the aerial school. When investigators sat down and questioned these young kids totally separately, they didn't just describe some hovering metal disc. They described actual figures appearing, and they spoke about what they felt. They reported this overwhelming impression of communication that completely bypassed spoken language, like thoughts were just being downloaded directly into their minds. I mean, how does a whole group of kids, questioned apart from each other, come up with such specific, identical stories? Is it just collective imagination, a crazy coincidence, or is it something that breaks the absolute limits of human perception?
Impartially speaking, these specific behaviors completely challenge our grip on reality. You've got reports of disc-like crafts hovering in dead silence, unidentifiable figures stepping out, and these luminous objects that actually seem to know when they're being watched. And notice where this happens. These reports are heavily clustered in remote deserts, deep oceans, and totally isolated landscapes. Some theories actually suggest these quiet spots might act as temporary stations or energy hubs for advanced tech. So we have to ask ourselves, why do these things always group up in the middle of nowhere? Is our brain just playing tricks on us, finding patterns in natural atmospheric lights, or are we actively documenting something entirely external to the human experience? Section 2. The Aquatic Frontier, Earth's Hidden Depths. Now, science opens another doorway here that is equally unsettling but so fascinating. We have explored roughly 5% of Earth's deep seas. 5%! That leaves a staggering 95% of our oceans completely unexplored. It is a colossal blind spot for us. We spend so much of our time looking up at the stars, we totally forget how little we actually know about what is hiding right beneath the waves. Just think about the actual conditions down there in the deep. You've got pitch-black darkness and just extreme bone-crushing pressure. Down in those zones, where sunlight literally doesn't exist, life has evolved into these bizarre, unimaginable forms. So it really makes you wonder, is the ocean, rather than the sky, the real hidden frontier? Could there be an intelligence hiding down there that's gone undetected for centuries? Could the ocean floor be hiding those isolated hubs we were just talking about? Or, maybe this is just humanity doing what humanity does best, sticking a mystery into the spaces where our knowledge hasn't quite caught up yet. If there really is extraterrestrial or hidden life out there, what would it even look like? Would it play by our biological rules, carbon and DNA-based, kind of like us? Or would it pop up from entirely alien physical principles? Seriously, if an intelligence is truly alien, we might not even have the scientific framework to recognize it as biology at all. It could be staring us in the face, and we'd never know.
Section 3. The Temporal Hypothesis. Shifting the Paradigm.
Okay, get ready for a pretty wild sideways shift here. What if they are us? This is a deeply unsettling yet absolutely brilliant paradigm shift. What if these so-called aliens aren't traveling from distant stars at all? What if they're far closer to home? Are we actually being visited by outsiders, or are we just being observed by our own descendants?
It's a totally different way of looking at it. On one side, you have the classic extraterrestrial hypothesis, beings traveling across the vastness of space from other star systems. But then you have the temporal hypothesis. This suggests that the intelligent beings supposedly visiting Earth are just highly evolved humans from the far future. In this scenario, what we think of as alien encounters could just be an advanced civilization using time manipulation to come back and study their own origins. Basically, anthropologists from the future, observing their own past.
And if you think about our evolving understanding of physics, it kinda tracks. If a civilization advances far enough, time might not be a strict one-way street anymore. It could just become a tool you navigate. If technology ever allows the linear flow of time to be bypassed, well then, those silent crafts and weird figures aren't arriving from light years away. They are arriving from thousands, maybe millions of years in our own future. It totally flips the script. The question stops being where are they from and becomes when are they from?
Section 4. The enduring mystery, the consistency of uncertainty.
Now, science inherently demands evidence, right? Repeatability, measurable proof. That is literally how we build our understanding of reality. But we have to step back and ask, does a lack of scientific proof actually mean something isn't there? Or does it just expose the limits of human perception and the fact that our scientific instruments just aren't there yet? Because across continents, across cultures, and across generations, people keep reporting these experiences that feel deeply connected but never fully proven. Maybe the phenomenon itself operates in a way that actively dodges the scientific method or just sits completely outside of what we can currently measure.
Which leaves us with this massive, glaring question. If advanced beings, whether they are aliens, hidden deep-sea dwellers, or future humans, if they know we're here, why interact like this? Why is contact so fragmented, so indirect? Why the smoke and mirrors? Why would they choose to just silently hover over playgrounds or empty deserts, watching us rise and fall, without ever just stepping out and saying hello?
So I'll leave you with this final thought as we stare into that cosmic silence. Somewhere between the freezing dark of space, the pitch black of our unexplored oceans, and the sheer unknown potential of time travel, something remains unresolved. It's not proven, but it's not entirely debunked either. It's just out there, waiting. Are we simply not yet capable of recognizing what has always been here? It's definitely a provocative thought, but honestly, that hunger to keep searching, to keep questioning, and to keep looking both upward and inward, that's what keeps the universe alive for us. The second we stop asking these questions is the second the universe truly goes silent. So keep exploring, keep questioning, and hey, thank you so much for diving into this explainer with me today.